What's up, people? It's another cold day in the winter. Well, it can be warm in it. Well, sometimes it's warm in the winter, so it's just another cold day. Snowfall. So all of the people them, I tell them if you stay warm, put on the proper clothes, the proper protection for no wear that the hunger way. You can protect yourself from the elements, right? So go back to the reasoning again, right? Because myself sometimes when I sit down and I talk to myself and I ask myself questions, I look into certain things, and then it's not. Younger time things confusing is when people don't understand. And sometimes people don't understand and then refuse to ask. Okay. Explain yourself. That's one of the things where I say we get better, we have to have understanding. We have to learn to get better. We have to learn to speak to each other, right? Because communication is always the key. People always say that. So if you not communicate, right, there's no understanding. And in everything we say, you need balance. So very much you need balance. And the month of balance is highlighted by this month, January, which is your mind. And your mind need to be free. I say, most of the problem that people have is within themselves. And the only person who can solve the problem within yourself is you. Some people them have money for go psychologists and psychiatrists and then doctors who can sit down with them and guide them through the steps for them to understand and deal with the issue that they're having, their internal issues. The same thing like with if you have a pain in your stomach and you got the doctor have a medical equipment them to check you out and search the problem and diagnose it and come up with a solution. But for the mind now, for solve that issue, unless the person is a specialist who study for years in a university and get some PhD and all those documents to say, well, I'm qualified to tell you how to get out of your despair. That means that the person who is in that position has lost their balance within themselves. And the balance within yourself is the key. That's why I'm say until it's clarified enough for you to understand, say, no matter how bad the situation is, you have to find balance within yourself. And it's peace. Balance is peace within yourself. That quiet place where you're reasoning with yourself. Because I tell you, so when people talk about the mind tell them to do this and the mind tell them to do that. That's the quiet place that you can like you're supposed to have when you go there so now and your mind tell you to do something, you're at peace to listen. Now money not give you money give you a sense of security. It doesn't give you a balance because some people have so much money but them not have no balance. And so them end up doing things with the money to try and give them balance, which cause more problems. Because most of we are traumatized, and we're not. It's like we either we not deal with it or we don't know how to deal with it. Me personally, being in that situation where you get bullied your whole life, somebody always a pick on you, beat you up on for no reason. You can't find a reason within yourself why this is happening. I'm gonna tell you, say, I always ask myself them question. What am I doing wrong? If me are the problem, I need to solve the problem. And if me I feel leave, then that's the solution. Everything me always say, okay, we can always do it this way. Whenever I say, okay, let's argue the point, argue the point. I always say, okay, solution. So just the fact that it's a solution to the problem that gives you peace of mind. So when did I talk about I was on the topic of balance and oh many people don't. January is like a month and nobody know. They don't focus on anything too tough because again, once December is over and everybody party, 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 and there's nothing, then there's no balance. So one of the things I was looking at is okay, Martin Luther King, right? Martin Luther King was born in January, right? Martin Luther King um was a person that believed in equality, and that's balance. That's balance in saying that somebody understand what balance is and want balance with everybody. And that's when I say white set the balance for all the other colors. So it come down to the peace of mind where we're supposed to have in trusting the people around us. Equal rights and justice for all. That's balance. And within ourselves, when we not see that happen, there's always something about us that is not right about us. Because it's natural for us to have balance in our existence. We can't just live life and not have no balance. So Martin Luther King, the way him talk, carry himself, the way him lead, the way him represent himself, it proves that there's people with thoughts that's pure, people with clear thoughts, clear understanding of what it's supposed to be and what it's not. And when it's not what it's supposed to be, there's no balance. So Martin Luther King Jr. Right, right. So, five scores of years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. 100 years later, the Negro is still languished in the corners of American society and finds himself in exile in his own land. And so we have come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. In a sense, we have come to our nation's capital to cash a check. When the architect of our republic wrote the magnificent words of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, they were signing a promissory note to which every American was to fall here. This note was a promise that all men, yes, black men as well as white men, would be guaranteed the un- unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It is obvious today that America had defaulted on this promissory note insofar as her citizens of color are concerned. Instead of honoring this sacred obligation, America has given the Negro people a bad check, a check which has come back marked insufficient funds. But we refuse to believe that the Bank of Justice is bankrupt. We refuse to believe that there are insufficient funds in the great vast of opportunity of this nation. And so we have come to cash this check, a check that will give us upon demand the riches of freedom and the security of justice. We've also come to this hallowed spot to remind America of the fierce urgency of now. This is no time to engage in the luxury of cooling off or to take the tranquilizing drug of grandiloquism. Now is the time to make real the promise of democracy. Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice. Now is the time to lift our nation from the quicksands of racial injustice to the solid rock of brotherhood. Now is the time to make justice a reality for all of God's children. It'll be fatal for the nation to overlook the urgency of the moment. This sweltering summer of the Negro's legitimate discontent will not pass until there's an invigorating autumn of freedom and equality. 1963 is not an end, but a beginning. Those who hope that the Negro needed to blow off steam and will now be content will have a rude awakening if the nation returned to business as usual. There will be neither rest nor tranquility in America until the Negro is granted his citizenship rights. The whirlwinds of revolt will continue to shake the foundation of our nation until the bright day of justice emerges. But there's something that I must say to my people and who stand on the warm thresholds which leads into the palace of justice. In the process of gaining our rightful place, we must not be guilty of wrongful deeds. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. We must forever conduct our struggle on the high plane of dignity and discipline. High plane of this. We must forever conduct our struggle on the high plane of dignity and discipline. We must not allow our creative protest to degenerate into physical violence. Again and again, we must rise to the majestic heights of meeting physical force with soul force. The marvelous new militancy which has engulfed the Negro community must not lead us to a distrust of our white people. For many of us white brothers, as evidenced by their presence here today, have come to realize that their destiny is tied up with our destiny. And they have come to realize that their freedom is inextricably bound to our freedom. We cannot walk alone as we walk. We must make a pledge that we shall always march ahead. We cannot turn back. There are those who are asking the devotees of civil rights, when will you be satisfied? We can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of the unspeakable horrors of police brutality. We can never be satisfied as long as our bodies, heavy with the fatigue of travel, cannot gain lodging in the motels of the highways and the hotels of the cities. We cannot be satisfied as long as the Negro's basic mobility is from a smaller ghetto to a larger one. We can never be satisfied as long as our children are stripped of their selfhood and robbed of their dignity by signs stating for whites only. We cannot be satisfied as long as a Negro in Mississippi cannot vote and a Negro in New York believes he has nothing for which to vote. No, no, we are not satisfied. And will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. I am not unmindful that some of you have come here out of great trials and tribulations. Some of you have come fresh from narrow jail cells. Some of you have come from eras where your quest for freedom left you battered by the storms of persecution and staggered by the winds of police brutality. You have been the veterans of creative suffering. Continue to work with the faith that unearned suffering is redemptive. Go back to Mississippi, go back to Alabama, go back to South Carolina, go back to Georgia, go back to Louisiana, go back to the slums and ghetto of our northern cities. Know that somehow this situation can and will change. All right. So this man, me tell you say there's always people with sense and understanding, and them always have something better to offer than what it is. The same thing with Abraham Theodore. I the same pretty much him say, look, in my country, I'm doing my best to get my country up and running according to the standard of how life is supposed to be, not just on one continent or in one country or one area of a country, but overall, this is how the standard is supposed to be. Because we're human beings, we are great people. If we don't understand who greatness, who's gonna understand it for us? That's my question. So what he's looking for is balance, equality, justice. All of them things are balance, like overall balance. So when you look for all of them balance outside it, that are the balance where you need to seek within yourself. They might give you the freedom to find your own balance. That's what I try to show you with when the justice system is supposed to be balanced for everybody to get a turn, and it's not balanced in that sense. Just the people them who can pay to get justice. So them blind justice for other people or for people with money. So this is at the detail of balance. So I always say, okay, find your own balance within yourself. And then you'll understand, okay, this is what balances me. And if it balances me, let me see what is balancing my neighbors. Because again, it come back to the community, all of them things that doctors I speak about. These are the things that the doctor see and understand and just demanding. Because how comes we not have them right there? I tell you, most of the time when I grew up, it's the opportunity given that makes us who we are. And the people that will give the opportunity are usually blinded by their choices and their feelings. Them feelings make them choose the people that want to qualify, even though they know that people is qualified for the position. This is why I say when you go on a job interview and they tell you that you're overqualified, all it means is that if they hired you with your skill, they're gonna get fired. I mean, me learn them things are from early on. Once a person know about your ambition, your drive, and your goal, suppose them know want you reach them limits. There, you think so them are gonna give you the opportunity to reach those goals? Them always I tell you, oh, we're moving in a different direction, and the different direction they're moving, they're not taking you. So every time you see that pan any letter them send you, you know what that means. Yeah, you're not coming with us. You know, all of the time it's balance we are look for. We're searching for the balance outside as we search for the balance inside. Until I say the year start and everybody just go back to the same thing. Nobody highlight nothing. Nobody look at anything that's important to our future. Meanwhile, this is 1963, and how is it today? Me look upon it. Turn the future, turn the past around to the future, and you will see the future. Because nothing changed until the people change things. Remember, I know man law, them can't make law to do anything. No trespassing, no this, no that. They can do anything. They can create emergency laws. They can do, but all the emergency things that they do is not beneficial overall to everybody equally. So this is what the good doctor was searching for. Let me continue to read some more. Let us not wallow in the valley of despair, I say to you today, my friends. So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day down in Alabama, with its vicious racist, with its governor having his lip dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, one day right down in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the faith that I go back to the south with. With this faith, we'll be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning. My country, this of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true, and so let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehole of Mississippi. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And when this happens, when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we still be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholic, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Okay, so again, I said the freedom where this man I speak about from so long. So we understand ourselves, right? When we look on the society today and see, it's still a struggle for something that's supposed to be there. It's not like, okay, just the freedom to go in our own town, freedom to go some places after dark, the freedom to walk down a certain street without being followed, the freedom to go in a mall without being scrutinized. That's what he was looking at. That's what he wanted. It doesn't matter who it's for, as long as you don't infringe on a person's right. Then, if they're not looking to hurt you, cheat you, these are the freedom that is supposed to be universal. And the freedom are the same balance we'll come back to. When you listen to the man and say, okay, when you hear Martin Luther King speak, how does he speak? Him thoughts, him understanding of how the world is supposed to be, how we're supposed to treat each other. So all of them things that comes from a person with a free mind and understanding what it is. Balance. But in a I would say history, we not document the thing them and keep the documents them up to date. Right? That's why I said this a blue year. And the first of the month, this is a month that should be highlighted, even give a shout out by everybody. who's aware of his accomplishment and what it mean to overall in our society, and how it's still being, the war is still being fought. The war is still being fought, but by less people. Because some people assume that once them happy, everything is good for them. So them not have to worry about nothing else. But me always hear people say, I never thought, what's the phrase they always say? I never thought it happened to me. Yes, this is one of them things all people always say. Boy, I never know say it a go happen to me, you know. Which means people are aware that it's happening. You hear me I say? People are aware that it's happening, but nobody's looking to create a solution to the people that it's happening to, because it's not happening to them. If it was happening to them, like when them say, oh, no, it happened to me, could you help me? Not we, you know, me. Because now me feel the pain, me feel everything else. I have to, you know, speak up now. I have to get it out there to say, okay, this is wrong. But if it's wrong for anybody else, it must be wrong for you too. So that means yeah, ignore the problem that those people are going through, because you're not in the same problem. That's why I say when we that have neighbors, neighbors used to look out for each other in a sense. If me have the same problem with dog, right? You are gonna have the same problem with dog if you have livestock and me have livestock. We are gonna have problems with mongoose. All of them things, those are the things I'm gonna grow up with, and everybody in the community have the same problems. And they would have come together and they would have solved the problems. And this is why I say we were a society of solutions. We used to solve problems. But now, if everybody are complaining about the problem, there's no solution. And that me say, when you look turn the camera right around 360 and see what's happening around. It's only a few people who's looking at it and saying, look, this is an issue. We need to solve this, or anything like that. So that's why I said there's no peace of mind. But the people them did a fight for peace of mind, them did a fight for peace of mind for everybody. Now people, as long as them get, you know, I say as long as them have enough money to ignore the problem, then there is no problem. There's no problem once they have enough money, because money can't cover anything until the money run out. And anytime the money run out, at that time people are coming and say, boy, we have a problem. Not because the problem is safe, but because the money run out. The people them I did, I look out for everybody's best interests. Those are the ones who make the greatest sacrifice. Because most of the time, them people that can just step away from the issue, even though they know the issue, don't come up with no solution, but them step out and them create solution to the problem. Them that's what leaders do. Leaders step out and say, all right, we're gonna create a solution, and if it's not the best solution for any problem, but if the solution don't work, we're not gonna say, okay, we just have a problem. Let's continue. No, it's find the next solution. And that's what balance, because the opposite doesn't attract. In a sense, magnet, yes, but it's compatibility. It's not attraction, it's compatibility, because you can attract it to the prettiest woman in the world, or a woman can be attracted to the sexiest man in the world. So it doesn't mean that it's compatibility, it means attraction. So when them say the opposite attract, it doesn't mean the opposite solve the issues. The opposite cause confusion. Because me say, if you are a good person, how is it a bad person is gonna balance you? Yes, it's proven all the time. Bad boy get all of the traction from all of the good girl them. So there's attraction. Okay, let me text out this. You know, me always I get messages from my live and notification. I think I send out notification goes out. Yeah, so I said the opposite does not, the opposite attract, yes, but it's attraction, not solution. So more time a woman we find herself with a bad boy, and she happy and good with that. But then later on, when it's family relationship comes down to, there's gonna be an issue, because him a go want be a bad boy and she a go want have a family. So yes, the attraction is there, but compatibility is not there. They're not compatible for a lifelong. That's, in the older days there was compatibility between relationship. That's why I'm gonna tell you, so the foundation that we had before, that was a real foundation of how we could grow and understand each other. Because there was communication, there was respect, there was manners, there was growth, there was unity. All of them things that they mean so much, because I tell you, say, even if you have put up a building and you don't have no bolt to bolt it together, you have put up blocks and you don't have no cement to seal it up, you know, no sand, you don't have all of them things that to make it solid. And for us, those are the things that made us solid. Those are the things that give us the ability to create for ourselves, for our freedom, right? That was the things that made us who we are, a human race with intelligence. We did a look. We say things is gonna be better, but then all of a sudden it's like we stop grow, we stop progress, we stop find that balance that within ourselves, we stop find the balance within our neighbor. We just start we me. Me tell you, say, when you say me, all you have to do is change one letter. Many things, Me tell you, say, I know, like say it's complicated and you have to have some scientific uh research to prove, say. All you have to do is change a little thing. Me say me instead of we say we. It's one letter we are changing. We're changing one letter to change how we think and feel about certain things. And me tell you, said that's what Martin Luther King was trying to change. Them people perspective of us. When all we are asked is for is an opportunity. an equal balance on both sides. Give us freedom of the mind because we have it. We know what it is. We should never be on a run our whole life. We shouldn't be in a rat race, because we shouldn't be on a run if we're growing into ourselves. Understand? Growing into yourself is when you understand yourself, the ability of yourself, the creativity of you. Them things here was warm. It just make you feel warm when you think how unity is. But me say it's for some reason it's hard for we understand that. More, my friend, what happened? It's hard for we understand, so the only thing we can do is get better at getting better. And there's nothing wrong with getting better. Upliftment. Me don't understand why it always come down for war. Me after war with somebody, somebody after war with me. And there's, when you look at it, there's no satisfaction in that. Okay, so me talk about it, say, every situation, ever since I've grown up, there's always been some form of war. There's always been war. And and it comes down to people putting their difference aside to make a difference. Right? So if two people are fight, there must be somebody around who can say, okay, let's sit down, work out the problem. But if somebody are benefit from me and you a fight, because if the two of we are fight and body a pile up, we are gonna need box. We are gonna need box. We are gonna need ammunition. We are gonna need body bag. We are gonna need one bag of something. So the people them we are supply, me and you a fight, is gonna be happy with us fighting. So there's not gonna be a resolution. But once we somebody did, if you say, okay then, let's work out the issue. What are your problem? What's your problem? Oh, we can't get to where you want, where you want. Okay, you can't get totally where you want. You can't get totally where you want. Compromise. Right? Compromise. So the news say there's gonna have a peace treaty. They're talking about a peace treaty. You see, them they're having a ceasefire. Because you can't just a war with no solution. I'm say that the moment them come, them sit down and then talk about the situation, they're gonna find some solution. And that a balance. This is where I say from a born, I grew, me hear about war. War all the time. From me born, me all some war a go on somewhere, somebody a war. It's never a peace because it show you said there's no balance. And people now search for balance. We are great people. But without that balance, that free mind, it's just chaotic. And we have solution, There is solution within us. There is a solution within us. And the solution is to listen, understand, respect, communication. Those are the glue. I'm gonna tell you, so when we hear all the people them are talk to each other on the frequency where them are talk on, it's not a conversation. I just shout who can shout the loudest and who can loudest the worst. So that me say in a free society, everything where we hear, instead of we take it, right, analyze it and dash it away, right? We take it, we internalize it. So okay, I just like the disrespect and all of them things that instead of we dash it away, we accept it, we put it inside of us. And then when it a come out with fire. Me tell you say one of your foot big. You tell me say two of my foot big, my hand big, my head big, my mother head big, my father head big, my brother head big. And I just one foot big, me say. So we just take it and we turn it into something that's not necessary for us to turn it into. And we create this unbalance when unnecessary. Manners and respect. Because I right there, so the balance there. The balance is right there. The balance of how we treat each other with goodness of we heart. How comes we say them things there and them things there out of our mouth it don't have no meaning. So why say it? The goodness of your heart is the goodness of your mind. Good thoughts. I tell you, say it's January, it's cold outside. Some places people are having sunshine and joy and there's joy there. But they don't look at it like that. Them look like it's them in the cold. Meanwhile, me in the cold, and I'm saying within the cold, if me stay warm enough, I'm good until it gets warm. I keep on saying it. The good people, them are the good. They don't get highlight. And it doesn't take much to highlight the good. But some people refuse. I understand. People refuse. They refuse to understand how important for them goodness is to add to the goodness. If you not add nothing to the goodness, you can't take nothing from the goodness. You expect good energy to come your way, but you not put out the good energy. Why we refuse to take it from within ourselves and make it shine? Nobody may say, nobody can change it until we decide we want it to be changed. But we not go say we want it change because we neighbors, we not talk to we neighbors. We don't talk to our neighbors. Most of the channel them don't care about anything that pertains to humanity. Them not teach economy, them not teach financial decision, they not teach stock management, they not teach plant, reap, eat and repeat, they not teach unity, them not teach. It's just everybody is just on this light in the fire. Everybody have the gas, you know. Everybody have the gas of destruction. So all them do is just pour on the gas on the gas of on the fire. Nobody's saying, okay, then fine. I'm gonna tell you, say, the people who are supporting these things don't care about changes. Because if they would care about changes, they wouldn't contribute to the destruction. Even in the comment section, they can say, look, me watch your program or whatever, but you know, say, this is how you can improve it or something. Like, so just for the people them get involved for the changes. People need to get involved for the changes. This is blue year, man. Everybody who died before us left something for us to learn from. Everybody that died before us left something for us to learn from. You see the man them a drive and a crash, 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 crash. Them not learn. Even though the people them, the people them are literally I show them example of what not to do. Oh boy. So where are they learning? Where is the learning? So I'm gonna tell you, so them used to have all of these curriculum in schools, and everybody are aware of these curriculum that used to educate people. We can take up them book there and brush off them book there and start put them forward, you know. We can, me say me have the book them here. Eventually, me I go in and me book them and me I go read and me I go. Me say me want have a poem night. Uno can call it, uno can type, write on a poem, uno can whatever it takes for us to show our versatility, our unlimited ability. Because me no want start something and then later on, me want change it up just for change it up sake. Monetary wise, or friend wise, or I said the people them who subscribe and them unsubscribe. I have no problem because the stuff that I talk about, if you don't like it and you don't care about it, then fine. What am I gonna beat you up about it? I am gonna continue putting my content, put up my food and promote my business, all of them things there. Because it's best for you to mind your own business than to mind somebody else's business. We are supposed to have some form of business. We're supposed to create something just like anything you plant the seed. I said that yesterday. You plant the seed, you water the seed, you give the seed sunshine. All of us supposed to have some form of business because we have that selling ability, but we choose to buy into everything, buy. I said, if we create some form of something where we can promote yourself, because the way I feel about my business, you start talk about my business and I can chat all day because it's what I love doing. It's what I enjoy. When I get a catering and them tell me, oh, this and that and that and that, what they want, and me just a take in everything and just a laugh and I enjoy it, knowing that I can create this moment for these people. That's that how I'm born for many things, but that's one of the things when I say I have passion towards. And I don't know what people's passion are today. Me don't know what them passionate about. Me know them argue about everything. They may argue about everything, but to show passion about something, to show I believe in this, and I'm gonna put my best effort forward. I tell you, say, how The people them before you used to think they always thought ahead and they thought balance and betterment. I tell you something, when we used to play checkers, I know there's some other game. I was learning this game to better to apply it to something. And when we start play chess now, I understand say it's checkers, but it's more complicated sense of you have to use more mind power other than checker, you know? So it's you learning how to add to what you know and how to grow more into yourself. I keep on saying it. It's all about what the content, and that's what Martin Luther King says. It says based on the content of who you are. And when me I grew up and me hear them say empty barrel, me the most nice. Yes, and it's true. It's not just the barrel empty, but a person with no content of themselves. More time them have to shout and scream and call you down and make you say yes, 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 man, yes, 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 yes. But it's not it's not knowledge of what they have, it's fear or disrespect or whatever I take for you agree with them. That's why I'm say it's not for anybody to agree with anybody on everything. It's not anybody to agree with anybody on everything. If you disagree with me and saying this is how you feel about this, it's your opinion. And you have that opinion. I said it already. Everybody has an opinion, but it's not everybody's opinion needs to be said. Sometimes I know everything you need for it's not everything you need to say or how you say it. Me hear this conversation this morning. Your head dirty, it want to wash. Why can't you just say your head need wash? Your head need to wash. Why you have to say your head dirty? And that may I try show you. We punch each other all the time. We the frequency we talk to each other upon all the time, it's never a good frequency. It's a sense, it's a reactive sense, not a conversation sense. I said that before. An argument and a conversation is not the same. A conversation is listening, understanding what the person is saying to reply. When you just come out and just well, you say big. Well, me I agree small. Well, it's him said there's big and small, but you only hear big, so you only react to big if you say small. I tell you, say communication is so important. How we talk to each other. It no matter which part you're there, you can talk to a person a million miles away and you can make their day. Or you want to make them go jump off of one building. And people are aware of that. But some people don't care about that. When them say treat people how you want to be treated, that means you're supposed to live your life a certain way. So if you live your life a certain way, you're gonna just automatically treat people with a certain way. I tell you, when the lady talk about Theodore Abraham, the way she talk about the man, just the way you see the man on TV, as so she talk about the man in a real life. And it goes back to me say, man, a man, a man, a man. You can attach man to any male. You can attach man to any male, but it doesn't, any title doesn't represent a man, because a man set the standard on how it's supposed to be with respect, understanding. The lady said the man smart. Them the things that what she said about is like coming like some meet the man already. Actually, no, 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 I know. This is how my neighborhood used to be. So if you walk down the street and a man look on you, it doesn't have to be your dad, but any man look on you and say, boy, pull up your pants. Quick, quick time. Yes, sir. Quick, quick time. So when we say how important man used to be, the balance of a true man, okay, if the man them not good and the woman them accept that, them accept it, change it, not to accept it to be what it is. And that me say, for us most of the time, to understand something, right? That means that you understand it. Once you understand it, you accept it. Sometimes you talk to a person and say, boy, I can't wrap my mind around that. Okay. Them I try to say, okay, they're not gonna take the time to think about the situation for them to understand it. I'm just gonna dash it way. But me say, once you understand it, you accept it, then you can come up with solution to the problem or the situation. Because I know every situation is a problem. It's just a situation. Okay, you go to the door, right? And the door closed. It's not a problem. You just turn the lock, right? So some things is just simple solution. But then you have to come up with solution to problems. So that's why I say, oh, everything what we do, right, is always to better each other. It's it's a different way of thinking, because when we think me, that's one way of thinking. When you think we, that's a different way of thinking. You can't think me and we at the same time. So me say it's just the simple things that we have to do to change for we are. Because if Martin Luther King had talked about them things are from so long, and how him would have like to see how we live. We have to live good in our house, we live good with the neighbor, we live good in the community. And that's what we have to understand. That's the balance. There's no solution. There's no solution. There's no solution that means anything without application. If you don't apply it, you get a cut on your hand and you don't put on a band-aid on it. So we keep on saying it's them when it's us first of all, because we have to find balance within ourselves so we can be balanced with each other. And the lesson that was given to us, this was a lesson on how for us to live better amongst with each other. That are the key. So it's not for you to change the whole world. It's just for you to change yourself. And you talk to one person and you find three people. And so it starts. But if everybody has said, it'll get worse, it'll get worse, it'll get worse, okay. We are well aware of the situation. So what's the problem? No solution. That's the problem. We now come together and go up on the platform them and say, okay, look, we have a topic to talk about. Can we talk about this? If the people them go up on the platform and want to talk about something and don't want to talk about what to talk about or something, or how you guys go about it is important too. What me say, if the people them who's out there don't want to pay no attention to the people who are in here, then why are you guys supporting it? If you don't want better, you know ask for better or you don't expect better. It not go change unless people decide it needs to be changed. That's why I'm say for me I create these podcasts, and in 5 years' time, I will be able to come back to where I was. So me can go and I can be in my past, present, and future. That's us. Because it's the moment that we live in. You can't create the moment. You cannot create the memory without the moments. So have good moments. You meet somebody down the street, good morning. That's a good moment. All of these stuff for myself that was so key. That's why I say the whole month is just highlighting the details of our balance and why we're not balanced. So any time right in the future, you can always go back to January and listen to January and say, okay, you must stress this, you must talk about this. Plant a seed because it's winter here, but means that something can grow. And I said that yesterday with my tomato plants. They're seedlings now, but eventually, when summer comes, I'll have tomato plant to become tomato meat. So everything that I am setting something. January is to free your mind. Have that space within yourself so you can build yourself from there. And then you can go outwards. Relationship within your house. If there's issue, on a sit down and talk. On a iron it out. Because that a wish part you need to be truthful. Right there so. Because if the core is no good, the outer layer won't be any better. So for the biggest thing is with family issue. We need to forgive sometimes. Give them a chance so them can get better. Tell them so they can get better within themselves. It's up to them. No. If we take it and make it better. That's why I say the balance is within us. And it's so important for us to understand that balance. Freedom of the mind, me say. Freedom of the mind. Your mind must be free because it's yours. Right, people? Freedom of the mind is yours. And that Martin Luther King was trying to say to us. No matter where you're there, where you are, you're at the best spot for you to make it better. Because anywhere you go, you're gonna have to make it better. Somehow, some form or shape. So again, as we continue to free your mind and continue on the positive side, man. When you step out on the positive side, step positive now. Step. Because when they must step on the negative, Lord, they must When them a step on the negative, man, them a step on the negative, man. So when you step on the positive, man, you step on the positive, man. You see it? You see it? People, me thank you, because I tell you, say, every day by day, we just get better and better. Day by day, we just learn more and more. Day by day, we just get more confidence. And we just build up. We just build up with work. We just put in the work so later on, you can always reach back and say, okay, I could draw back one of these, then I could listen to the lesson over here. So, you seeing people? What I say? Document on a story. Because phone story are the best story. Phone story are the best story. So, on telling a story. All right? Always more love, more unity, more respect, more. What I say? There's so much more to come. People, thank you very much, people. Thank you for no time, for no ears, and understanding. Like, share, subscribe, please.